Hi there. Hi there. Have you ever had the experience? You decide you're going to change something in your life. Maybe you're going to earn more money, get healthier, apply for a better position, start the business you've been thinking about, becoming more confident, or finally do something you've been putting off for years. And when you make that decision, this time you mean it. For a few days, you feel different. You get up earlier, you take action, you feel motivated, and then something happens. You miss a day. You hesitate over a phone call. You tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. A few weeks later, you realize something uncomfortable. You're back where you started. Same habits, same doubts, same results. If you recognize yourself in that, there may be a reason that nobody ever explained to you. It's called your self-image. Your self-image is the picture you carry inside of the person you believe yourself to be. And most of us know very little about it. Yet it can influence how confidently you speak, what opportunities you pursue, how much you expect from yourself, and even what level of success feels comfortable to you. Imagine it like a thermostat. You can turn the temperature up temporarily with motivation and willpower. But if the internal setting hasn't changed, sooner or later you can find yourself returning to what feels normal. And that is why there can be such a painful gap between the life you're living and the life you know you want. Maybe you can see yourself earning more, leading people, traveling, building the business, walking into a room with confidence, having more freedom. You can see it, but something keeps pulling you back. So, how do we begin changing that? I teach 5 ideas that work together. First is desire. You need to become clear about what you really want, not simply what you think you should want. Desire gives you direction. There comes a point where you stop saying, maybe this way or maybe that way. So the next is decision. Decision creates momentum. Then there comes environment. It's difficult to create the new yourself while constantly being reminded back into thinking the old thoughts. That's why programming I work with accompanied by mentorship. You don't simply receive information and disappear with it. You have support while you learn to apply it. Then comes action. Confidence doesn't always arrive before you act. Very often confidence is created because you acted. You make the call, you ask the question, you walk through the door, and every time you do, you give yourself new evidence of the person you're becoming. Finally, there is something that's difficult. It's paradigm change. Paradigm change. Those old automatic patterns don't normally disappear because you heard something once. We learn through repetition. Think about learning to drive. At first, everything requires thought. The mirrors, the gears, the pedals. Eventually, much of it becomes automatic. Repetition is the mother of learning. And through learning, higher awareness, repetition, and application, we can begin changing what has become automatic within us. The principles I teach come from decades of study and practical application in personal development. And perhaps the most exciting idea is this. If you can conceive a greater possibility for your life, Don't immediately reject it because you don't yet know how to achieve it. Look again at the gap between where you are and where you wanna be. Perhaps that gap doesn't mean you're incapable. Perhaps you're simply being trying to create a new life while carrying an old picture of yourself. The goal isn't just to force yourself to do more, it's to become the person for whom the actions, decisions, and results you want begin to feel normal and natural. And when that inner picture begins to change, your outer possibilities can begin to change with it. If you recognize yourself in that, what I've just described, subscribe to this channel. In the next video, I will show you how your self-image is formed, why it can quietly keep pulling you back, and what you can begin doing to change it. Because once you understand the picture you are carrying of yourself, you can begin creating a new one, and one that is far more aligned with the life you really want.